Hello again, students. It's another SST lesson, and today we are going to discuss the first lesson of chapter 6, which is fighting for control. Let's start with the learning objectives of the lesson. Number 1, you'll be able to describe the fight to control North America, and number 2, you'll be able to describe how alliances between Native Americans and colonists affected the French and Indian War. Alright, so this lesson class explains the French and Indian War, including the causes of the war, alliances with Native Americans, and the resulting changes in European land claims in North America. Alright, so let's discuss first the vocabulary of this lesson. Number 1, we have alliance. It is a formal agreement among groups of individuals. So when two or more countries make an alliance, that means they promise to help each other during war. Okay, number 2 is delegate, means a representative. Okay, it is a person with power to act or speak out for others. And number 3, we have the word parliament. It is the lawmaking branch of the British government. In the government of the United States, it is one of the 3 branches, and it is called legislative, which is also the lawmaking branch part of the government. Okay, and number 4 is proclamation. It is a public announcement. Okay, so when you say proclamation, it is something or an act of making something known publicly. And the last one, we have the word budget, means a plan for spending money, or it is keeping track exactly how much is coming in and going out. All right? Let's discuss the conflicting claims. Spain, France, and Britain, as England became known, were trying to keep control of their lands in North America. But before that, students, let me tell you that in 1707, England united with Scotland to form Great Britain. Okay, after that, the government and parliament in London were called British instead of English. Okay, look at the map here, grade 5. Spain claimed mostly the southwestern lands in Florida. Then France claimed lands to the north and in the middle of what is now the United States. And then most of the land that Britain claimed was along the Atlantic coast. All right, let's see what is the Ohio Valley. Both Britain and France claimed the Ohio Valley. This region stretches grade 5 along the Ohio River from the Appalachians to the Mississippi River. The British saw that the Ohio Valley as an area for trade and growth. And to the French people, it connected their lands in New France and Louisiana. All right, and by 1750, France sent soldiers to Ohio Valley to drive out the British. Then the French also built forts near the eastern end of the valley, and the British saw this as an act of war and decided to fight back. Let's learn how the French and Indian War begins. The French and Indian War began grade 5 in North America in 1754 and later spread to Europe. Native Americans fought for both sides, but mostly for the French people. Okay, but let me tell you that French and Indian War was not a war between the French and Native Americans. The two main opposing sides in the war were the French and the British. Okay, so let's find out about their alliances and fighting. By the mid-1700s, both France and Britain had formed alliances with many of the Native American tribes in the Ohio Valley. Again, an alliance means is a formal agreement among groups or individuals. Once fighting began, the French and British asked their allies for help. So in June 1754, grade 5, colonial leaders met at Albany, New York to talk about how to deal with the French forces. So 7 colonies sent their delegates or representatives, including Benjamin Franklin. All right, Franklin said that the colonies should unite to fight the French, and his ideas, which became known as the Albany Plan of Union, was not approved. All right, so the colonies were not yet willing to fight as one country. And just a month earlier, grade 5, the British governor of Virginia sent 150 soldiers to take the Ohio Valley from the French people. George Washington, then only 21 years old, led the Virginians. On their way to the French fort, the Virginians fought some French soldiers. And afterward, the Virginians quickly built Fort Necessity. And on July 3, 1754, the French and their Native American allies attacked. Outnumbered, the Virginians gave up. And this battle turned out to be the start of the French and Indian War. Alright, so we're going to continue the second part of this lesson next week. And we're going to talk about how the war expands. Alright, so that's for today, grade 5. Till next time. Bye.